Hi everyone, hope you guys are fine and safe at your home. So today what we are going to create or learn today is this. So let's have a look. So before starting the tutorial, I will just like to say all thank you very much for your love and support which has shown me in this clip, in this short video, and which has totally motivated me and just give me a boost to create more content like this. So thank you very much guys. Hey guys, I had created this simple drone effect which I had used with the proper tracking and CGI pipeline. Also I used Tyflow in it. So make sure that if you like it, then just don't forget to comment it that you need a tutorial on that. So thank you very much, and then let's start the tutorial. And now let's start the tutorial. So here I had already created a simple rig, as I had already added the HDRI and done the all lighting and texturing stuff. If you want to know how I had created this stuff, how I had used put the CGI object in HDRI, so you can go and check out my tutorial. Let's start. So I had just used a Mixamo character and just done a bit tweaking and changes so it looked like the real character of Ra.one. And then let's start with the Tyflow. So here, first of all, let's understand before taking the Tyflow that what we have to create, what we have to do. First, we have to pixelate the whole object in the cubes or the particles or whatever bricks you want to, whatever shape of bricks you want, and then you have to reassemble that. So for that, you have to first create a record of the original form of the character, and after breaking it you have to rearrange them. So let's start. So first of all, I will just show you on the single character only so you guys can understand and add. So I will just use as one of it. Let's open the editor and let's take a birth object, pick the object. I had already done that, and hide this object. So here I have the object and Tyflow, and now what I have to do is I have to do a bit things like I have to fracture it in bricks. So for that I will use brick fracture, and in brick fracture I will change these settings, like I don't need any offset, so I will just keep it to 0. In length I will just use 5 as I had already created, so I know the value. You can play with your own, because I have to I have to fracture them again once more. So I had created this and just hit enable over there, from over here, so it get enabled and divided my object into bricks fracture. But and now I need to add a physical property, so for that I will use physics x shape. But there's a problem with this shape, is that if I just move my timeline, you will see the whole uh, object and get down. So to stop it, we have to add a physics switch. So let's add a physics switch, physics x switch, and just change it to kinematic. Now what I have to do is, again I need to change its value and fracture it more. So I had already took a point over here. Let me unhide, and I will have first I have to just off it, auto key at 15 or 20 frame. I'll just put it down, as this will help me to select more fractures values or fracture it in more or shift it to the another event. So now as you see, I had already fractured it in bricks, in cubes, but I have to fracture it more. So I will use this point. I had animated this point to make another event selection. So I will use object test. In object test I will pick this up, as I need the whole content to be selected or to transfer to a new event, as I have to select the whole minus z axis, above minus z axis. So I will change this test true if ever object world minus z. That's it. Or I have to do nothing in this. That's it. Let's take another display to see how it changes. Is it selecting or not? Yeah, it's working fine. Now I have to fracture them again, so I will use the same brick. So I will just press shift and just click and drag, so it create a copy of that. Good. Let's see. Yeah, it's working fine. See, another time, second time, it's also working fine. Let's get back to the 0, and over here I will have to snap this. As I had already explained you, first of all I have to break it, then and also I have to remember how the shape is at the initial form, so after the breaking it just rearrange with that. So with the help of custom properties, I will just remember the position, remember the state of the object. So just go over here, and at the custom property we have to do something like we have to change the custom float to position Z. Let's select position Z. Here it is. And also we have to rename it, so let's rename it to position Z. Anti-multiplication, it's good. Also I have to remember the custom TM, so let's change it to TM, and also name this channel to original TM. That's it. So this custom property has already snapped the value, recorded the value. Now we have to do a bit more thing, like I have to fragment it all. So let's add a physics switch, as in this portion I have to break them out or explode the cubes to the different areas. So let's add a physics switch, so we can change its value dynamic to dynamic, and to give it a force we need a speed. Let's put it up and change its timing to event age around 2 or something, around 0 to 3 range. Set. And also we have to change its magnitude. Let's reduce, go in the magnitude, change it to 25, and let's change the variation to 50. And now I need a limiter to limit its explode. So over here I will just have to limit the velocity, so I will just limit the velocity, and I have to just limit from z-axis, so I will just keep it 5. That's it. Decrease it and keep it 100 and 100. Done. Also I need some spin. The spin, I have to change its spin amount to around 350 by 250. That's it for the spin amount. And this event we are just doing for the particle which goes like, if you see even our first point, just go through it, you will see it started getting apart from the main character area. So just like this, to explode it we are doing this thing. So over here I had added a bit spin. Also I have to add a bit gravity over here. Let's add gravity. For that I will use force. So in the force, keep its strength to -0.01. Okay, and then you will see it's just add to make it more realistic, so I had added the gravity. And now I need, after a time, I have to also reassemble it after some time, so I will use a time test. And time test, I will go and change its type from edge, event edge to frame, and also its value to 50/5. Now I will take another display and add this time test over here. As in first two event we had created our object which we have to explode, or which we have to reintegrate, and in second event I had just did some changes to explode them, to just make them apart. As you see in the video, the first particle get apart or exploded. First of all, object gets exploded with the help of brick fracture or in the cubes, and after that it start recombining or recreating. With the help of custom property, I recorded the position of the object or the state of the object, and now I will change it, but with the help of speed and all I had also exploded it. And event 3 I will restart to making it recombine. So for that I had the time test, and now I need to add a and property test. I will change it to event edge, change it to greater. Also, if you remember, I had already decoded the test value. So for that, just go in custom float, and over here change the channel. If you just click on this V icon, you will find this. So I will just pick this up over here. So with the property I had already differentiated, already selected the particles, and now we have to go in another event so that our selected particles start attracting each other and rebuilding the initial mesh. So let's take another display, and now first we have to add a bit mass in it, so it starts slowly, it's like climbing. So to give it a climbing effect I have to add a bit mass. So let's have a mass, keep its value to 25 around, and display just hit this tab and add a slow, speed and spin. So I will just change both to 15 and 15. As you will see over here, if you see that first it get exploded, and then after some time it start attracting and building the initial mesh. So to slow this building effect I use this slow and spin. And now then I have to add a surface force, and a surface force to attract the particles which we had exploded. So I force and surface force, let's pick the exo body, the mesh which I used over here. And now after surface test, let's add a find target, and in find target I have to do a bit changes, like first of all I have to change this less than to 10 true type distance, and increase the velocity by 50, also the acceleration to around 8, and the end I have to change the target location I don't need, because I don't need any object over here, as I had already captured the, I have already recorded the initial state of our material with the help of custom property. So just change it to custom TM and change its channel to original. Also I have to change its target alignment to custom TM, and also over here I have to change it to original TM. That's it for over here. Let's only increase it to around 0.7. That's it. Let's increase its ease in to 5% by 15%. Also I have to slow them, so I need a slow over here. Change it to around velocity. I don't need X and Y slow. I just only need the movement of particle over just going up the grid and Z axis. So I will just change it to 75, and now also with the spin I have to change it to around spin rate to 1000 by 150, and also I have to change the spin axis to travel distance and change its value to around 0.5 interpolation. And now we are done over here. So, and now also I need a time test, so let's add a time test, and you will see in the event 4 I have two outlets, one from the find target and one from the time test. So let's change its time to around 50 by 5, same as the upper, but I have to just keep the test type to event edge 5. Okay, now let's take another display and connect both of them. Now I had connected both of this outlet to a single event because in the find target thing it just attract the particles just to when it started grow and grow and grow, and it start attracting the particle. Also at this event I have to change it to a combination thing, so I had just separated two of the, I just send two of the value to one, and over here I have to do another thing. I have to just copy this speed shift and just put it over here. Let's add also physics X switch, and it's over here I have to just keep it to kinematics. Now to add a find target, and find target I have to change something like 10, velocity and variation should be 20, and change its control by velocity to control by time. Change the time to 30 by 10 around. Also a bit ease to make it animation a bit more perfect, and at this point I have to done same as what we had did over here. Just change it to custom TM and choose original TM, same as over here. So here we had completed this simple effect. Also we have to add a bit collisions in that, so I will use a physics X collision over here. Let's add physics X collision, physics X collision. Also add it over. Yeah, that's it. So let me explain you why we need this much event over here, and what every event has its own function. First, in first event, I had took a mesh which we have to fracture, explode, and recombine it. So to fracturing it, I used brick fracture and give it a physical property. To hold its original shape, I used a switch so that we can trigger it after some time. So this stage is the earlier first stage, and after that I just used a point to record its stage from up to down. So as my object is above my grid, so I used above minus z axis. Means if you just go select this and see this pivot, you will see that you see this axis, you will see it's representing the above z axis. So I have to just select it. I have just changed this object as to above world minus z. Now I fractured it again and recorded its original property, and then I just switched off its initial physics x switch, so and created it to dynamic. So it after it's just get explode or work with the force, and then I added a force to explode it, to scatter it, and then I selected its property. I selected the scattered objects or scattered cubes, and then I given them a mass and just slow down their processings and effect. And with the help of find target and time test, I just recombined it to the initial stage from which we had started. So let's see what we had created. Thank you very much guys for the love and support also, and thank you very much guys. That's it for today. See you in the next tutorial very soon.